Snake Cinema Podcast stepping in. Your one-stop review, let it sink in. Hip-hop vibes, we break it down. Laughs and insights all around.
What it do, what it do. Welcome to another episode of Snake Cinema Podcast. I am your host, Prince Elias of Creative Reptiles, and we are back for another dope episode. Super excited about that. Um, mic check, mic check. Just want to make sure y'all can hear me. Um, Evie Mux is doing this new AI audio thing, which hopefully it works. Hopefully it takes away all the background noise and y'all can hear the surrounding the birds and other people talking, but we will see. But anywho, super excited. This episode and every episode is brought to you by ENT Reptiles, Orlando and TJ. Thank you for always supporting. Yeah, boy. I appreciate y'all tremendously. Why am I buffering? Let me make sure I'm on the right Wi-Fi. The coffee shop's issue. We just gonna roll with it. We just gonna roll with it. As long as y'all can hear me, it's all good. So we have another technically countdown. Not really a countdown. It ain't gonna be no 10 through 1, but I am gonna be sharing my best and worst Disney remakes today. Finally doing another episode. Y'all in the chats gave me PTSD when I did my Disney soundtracks, my favorite Disney soundtracks. But I'm doubling down. I'm doubling down. But there won't be no number six, Randall. I'm just gonna tell you which ones I loved and which ones I've hate in no particular order. Anyways, thank y'all for tapping in. We don't have any entertainment news of the week besides hip hop BS like Offset getting shot in the butt over a dispute of gambling at a casino. Uh, J. Cole is still on his podcasting interview touring run, and each one he just keeps getting people still attacking him. So I think at this point, when it comes to the culture and people in the rap space, he just needs to just shut up at this point because he just keep digging a hole and making things worse for him. In the public eye, in the court of public opinion, like I said in the last episode, I do not care as long as these people are dropping good music. I really don't give a crap. Oh, um, there has been some news that's been going around in the music industry dealing with Kanye, because he was supposed to be headlining a music festival in London, but then a whole bunch of corporations said, "Nah, bruh, we ain't forget all that BS you was spewing just last year." So we are backing out, and then pretty much the festival canceled itself. Instead of canceling him, they just canceled themselves and said, "We're not going to even have the festival this year." Even though you could have picked any other major artist to headline this show, but I guess I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they just didn't want to do it last minute, but they should have thought about that. But the reason why I really don't care or not talking about it because Kanye is on that same list with J.K. Rowling. I'm never gonna. I have yet to hear their music, and I'm not going to hear the music. His new album, Bully. I have yet to hear it. I'm not supporting him in any way. I won't even listen to it on bootleg through third parties. I just nah. I'm good on that. I'm good on that. He's on that list, just like J.K. Rowling that I don't fuck with, and so I'ma stand by that. Um, And I know some people always bring up his anti-Semitism, which rightfully so. They have every right to be upset about that. But I'm canceling him for all his anti-blackness and him being a black man, but wearing the Klan hood and all the other BS he was saying. Slavery was a choice. Wearing White Lives Matter T-shirts with Candace Owens and stuff. It's like he did so much anti-black stuff that the anti-Semitism stuff was pretty much like, okay, like you're a black man spewing all this hatred towards the black community and dissing the black community. That's why I'm canceling him. And I'm also canceling him because of how he spoke about Beyonce and Jay-Z's kids. And like I've said plenty of episodes, you can hate Jay-Z, you can hate Beyonce, you can bully them, you can talk bad about them, but calling their kids the R word and spewing out hatred and bullying the children, the babies who have nothing to do with anything, like Kanye and Jay Z can diss each other all day long, but when you get to talking about the children, because and I would feel the same way if Jay Z was to come out and talk about Kanye's kids, like keep children out of it. Innocent children, they're not grown, they're not adults, they can't defend themselves. They are literal elementary age, middle school age children. Like leave them alone, and to call them the R word and spew hatred towards them, that's when I was really off Kanye. I was like, besides the anti-black stuff and all this, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm done. And then on top of that, you haven't been making good music in a long time, pun intended, because this record label is called Good Music. You haven't made any good music in years and over a decade. Like I stopped listening to him after my Dark Twisted Fantasy. No, I take that back. The collab he did with Kid Cudi, Kids See Ghosts, that was the last one I listened to and liked. Kid See Ghost was the very last one. And it was mainly because Kid Cudi carried that album. He carried that album. That was the last album I've heard and actually like from Kanye. So I'm done. I wrote him off. He's dead to me as an artist, as a person. He can make 1,000 apologies. He could come publicly a video and apologize to Jay-Z and Beyonce, but calling their children the R word on Twitter and going ham like that, and then all the anti-blackness, like the North remembers, as Game of Thrones always say, the North remembers. I always remember, and so yeah, there's certain things you can separate the artist from the art. There are problematic artists out there who are long dead, long gone. There are certain situations, it's a case by case. There are certain situations of violations you can separate the artist from the art. You can't do that with Kanye, especially when he raps about the hatred stuff. He actually made a Hail Hitler song, like legit made a song. He actually raps and talks in his music, in his art, about the hateful rhetoric that he was spewing on Twitter and on podcasts, on streams, and like you can't separate it if he's putting it in the music. So I don't care what anybody says. Y'all can say Bully is a great album and stuff. I'm not listening. I'm not reviewing. And I'm happy that at least the corporations are canceling his ass with that music festival, saying that they bowed out. Pepsi, shout out to Pepsi, thank you. And other corporations that was like, nah, you ain't fit to put our name and his name on the same ballot, on the same posters and the same Pepsi Music Fest brought to you by Headline and no, no, don't do it. Don't put our name in the mud. So shout out to them. All right. So that was it for as far as entertainment news of the week. Let's go ahead and talk to the peoples in the chizzy chats. I was giving y'all no time to foul in, to wake up and drink your top coffee or your green tea. Let's speak to, let's see. Shoot. The sponsors, ENT. Thanks for tapping in. We got Orlando. What up, bro? Thanks for tapping in. And we got TJ, his other half. Thanks, y'all, for tapping in. Appreciate y'all. Let's see. Is this Row 50? Rose Pools? Who is this? I think that's Row 50. Thanks for tapping in. It must be your other account. If it's not Row 50, thanks for tapping in. Anyway, I appreciate you. Let's see. Chris, thanks for tapping in. Christopher. Walker, thanks for tapping in. Shout out. I appreciate you for always supporting. AA Run number 3. Thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. Batter up balls. Thanks for tapping in. Father Dunn, you already know. Thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. You out there gardening? Yeah, Father. And also shout out talk tap in tomorrow, Father Don's Everyday Keepers. And I think this week he's also a guest on Fred and AJ. So you'll get double dose of Father. We'll do Everyday Keepers and then Fred and AJ show where they interview Father Don. So we gonna have double dose of Father Don Dundee Uptown Exotics on tomorrow. That's what's up. Also, if you missed it, I did drop a vlog on yesterday showing the Kazi clutch. Oya did lay her eggs finally. This has been a long time coming, at least since I've had her. She started breeding summertime of last year. She locked 3 times with the black cherry. He's a blackhead red jean ringer. And then once she was no longer interested in him, and she started to show that she was building follicles and all that jazz, and all the things, the ovulation, and well, what I perceived to be the ovulation. Grant, I think I missed the ovulation of Oya, and then when she started developing eggs and we started ultrasounding her and saw the eggs, I think I kind of missed that window, so I don't know exactly when, but anywho, she when she stopped wanting to breed with Black Cherry, she I through Jafar, my number one boy, my main boy, my normal, the very first snake I ever got. They locked, and not only did they locked 3 times. So this clutch is about to be a who your daddy. We don't know who got the clutch. It could be a dual clutch, or one could have taken over. It could have been, but either way, I don't care. It's gonna be great to just prove out her dinker, see what it is. If Black Cherry gets it and I end up getting Blackhead Kazis, hey, that's dope. That's amazing. We already got our first combo. Um, if not, and Jafar took it, and I get like normals or just all Kazis, hey, that's dope too. We're still gonna figure it out. Let's just pray to the odds gods that we get at least it's 5 eggs. I need 2 of them to be male. And if not, 3. But anyways, I'm gonna feed her. I'm gonna offer her food tonight because she lay Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. So I'm gonna offer her food tonight, a small meal. See if she'll take it. And we'll go from there and we'll build her up, get her strength back. And we got till June 3rd, at least June 3rd, June 4th, until them babies we get our answer. So I'm super excited. But anyways, tap into that vlog. It's a very short vlog. Y'all know I could get long-winded with my vlogs. They be about 15, 20, 30 minute long videos. This was a short one. I think it was like 5 minutes, 6 minutes. So tap in and like, comment on that video, get their numbers up. Let's see. Is there any more news of the week as far as Creative Reptiles? Oh, yes. This weekend we're super busy. Me and the snakes got a gig tonight. Well, it's not really a gig. We're not getting paid for this, but it's a social networking business event going on in Memphis, and we are going to put our names out there. So I might take either Jafar or Oreo, probably Oreo, with me. I have a carrying bag um, that they can breathe through, and we are gonna go out and network, have my business cards. This event gives out free headshots to all the entrepreneurs who need new headshots, so I'm gonna get a new headshot um, with my entire Creative Reptiles ensemble. I got a bomber jacket, I got a shirt, I got a hat, so it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be a nice good look to get a new professional headshot. But Yeah, it's gonna be dope. I'm super excited. But tomorrow we have a gig, and I'm actually a sponsor, so I'm super excited about that. There is an anime meetup, a mini cosplay convention, just a small one, not nothing big, but it is happening in Memphis, and I decided to be a sponsor because they put a ad out for sponsorships, and it was not expensive at all. I think it was just like 50 or 60 bucks. So I was like, yeah, make me a sponsor. And so we're going to be sponsoring that event, as well as I'm going to be taking snakes out there with my camera and have people who cosplay, anime, all that jazz with the snakes. And I think it's also going to be like local wrestlers. So it's going to be like a WWE ring out there at the same time. It's going to be a lot of stuff going on. Super dope, super fun. But it's gonna be great, and I want to support them because they're up and coming. They're a smaller organization. They don't have. It's not like the conventions that hire these big celebrities to come do meet and greets and stuff. Now this is like homegrown, local people in the nerd community, and so it's gonna be fun. I'm super excited. And then next weekend we have more prom send offs, more people booking the snakes, who have booked the snakes for their prom shoots, their pictures. And so can't wait for that. And it's going to be a dope. Super excited about that. Chicken Mine, Brian, thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. Hope Crash and all them babies are doing good. Speaking of, if you're not following Heathen Hatchery, one of the members of Dinkerville, not only does he got some fire dinker animals coming, but them chickens, them birds, all black chickens. They done had some babies out. Oh my gosh. He Brian is making an army, a football team of black chickens. I'm super excited. So please go and support him. Follow He the Hatchery on all social media so you can see the updates on Crash and the Crash babies. It's exciting. It's exciting. Brian about to make me buy some chickens from him. He gonna have to drive to Memphis and deliver. uh, thanks for tapping in. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the meat and potatoes of this show today, because I know that everybody got something to do this lovely Saturday. And I'm also busy and got stuff to do, so got to get ready for the event today. So today is all about Disney live action remakes, reboots, sequels, prequels, all that jazz. And I'm sharing my best and worst, what I love, what I hate, about them, and it's gonna be fun. And I give out this disclaimer like I did the last one where y'all beat me up with the came to the soundtracks list. These is just my opinions. Um, and if you disagree, that's cool. Just don't bully me and say I'm wrong. uh, thank you, A Ron. I appreciate that. Um, and also, what was the other disclaimer? For those who don't know, the Disney live action remakes have been happening since like the 90s. People think because they've been abundant in the 2000s, like 2017 and up, that's been a new thing. Like, nah, they were doing stuff way back when I was a kid growing up. So I'm including those on this list as well. There's no need to do the sequels of some of these remakes because we're just talking about the originals based off the original animated movies. Um, so I'm only gonna be talking about those, and then um reimaginings, or prequel stories. If they were the first ones based off of the animated, those are the ones that I'm adding to the list. So just wanted to put that disclaimer out there. So if people be like, how come you didn't talk about this one on your trash list or your worst list? Well, because it was a sequel. But we not even worried about that. We just talking about the ones based off the original animated cartoons. Nikki, thanks for tapping in. Tune in to Show Me Your Rack with Nikki and Lace every Sunday as well. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. And Nikki has been killing it with the reels lately on Instagram. Tap in. She is hilarious for real. So y'all follow Irresistible Pythons on Instagram and all other social medias. All right. So let's go ahead and let me get my list out and get my list. And again, these are just my humble opinions. Does not mean that if if you agree or disagree if you disagree with me that you are wrong. Everybody has their opinions. Let's go ahead and go through and again, this is in no particular order. Well, I might put in order from least to best, but it's not really a top 10. I'll just go in with the flow. But let's go ahead and give praises to the ones that I like. So let's do the best before we get down to the worst, because the worst I'm gonna be explaining why I hate them a lot. So let me go ahead and get my stuff together. All right, so let's talk about the ones I like. Now, some of these some of the best remakes that they've done are the older films. Now there are some exceptions because there are some that are in the worst category, but for the most part, majority of these remakes, the older the films are, the better. So if they came out in like the 60s, the 70s, the 50s, things like they came out during the time Walt Disney was still alive and chain smoking his life to death, then 9 times out of 10, those remakes were better than the ones that came based off of the Renaissance when I was growing up in the 90s. And so um, a lot of this list will be those older films, but again, there are some exceptions to the rules. There are some caveats because there are some older films that were out before I was born and their remakes were trash. So but I will say this, one of the first ones, it wasn't the first ones, but one of the first ones that started this new wave for the younger generation, for, my nieces and nephews' generation, was 2017's Beauty and the Beast. And I actually like this. Granted, I actually like this. Now, granted, Emma Watson's vocal abilities wasn't the strongest, but she did what she had to do. And as far as acting go and her portrayal of Belle, she really did an amazing job. I really loved it. Luke Evans as Gaston was perfect casting. I ain't gonna lie to you, that was just on point. Whoever, shout out to the casting director. This whole star-studded cast was amazing, from the voice actors of the side characters to Dan Stevens at playing the Beast. It was just an amazing. The CGI was great because I know their CGI can be hit or miss. Their CGI was great. The Beast looked amazing. And so, yeah, I really did enjoy this. I saw it in theaters when it came out in 2017, and I've rewatched it several times since then. On Disney Plus. Well, before I deleted Disney Plus, but it's still good. It's still good, and like I said, it was one of the few that came out first for this newer generation. My nieces and nephews' generation, as far as these live action remakes. And so I really did enjoy that. I think the cinematography, the costume, and everything was amazing. So I do like that. It isn't the strongest, but it was very enjoyable and entertainment even to this day. And I like that they kept most of the original elements, but they also, changed some things around and switched some things up, and it was great. It wasn't a shot for shot like aka the Lion King, where there's no differences at all. And I really love and respect them for keeping the music, because the music is what made the animated film. Like Tell as Old as Time, all that jazz, all those songs, Be Our Guest, and all the cast who participated and sang those songs did what they had to do. So, Beauty and the Beast live action remake, still love it, still cool. And Still dope. Now, the next one, again, it's not the strongest and it's not the best, but I enjoyed it. And it was one of the ones that during the it was either pre-COVID or during COVID, but it was one of the ones that Disney threw straight into Disney Plus. Like it did not have no theatrical release. It went straight to Disney Plus, and to me, I feel like it was a great decision. Just because it wasn't. It was good. It was entertaining, but I don't think it was movie theater worthy. It was worthy of its Disney Plus release. And that is Tim Burton's Dumbo remake. You know what? I think it had a limited release in the theaters, just a little bit, but it wasn't like worldwide. Because I remember it going straight to Disney Plus, like quickly. And I was like, dang, like y'all didn't give Tim Burton no, no chance. But I do like this. It was one of those remakes that was based off an animated film that happened long ago, like way back in the day, and so it was memories removed. My nieces and nephews don't remember or either never watched the original, even on Disney Plus. Like they've never watched the original cartoon, so this is was their intro to it. And I love that they chose Tim Burton because Tim Burton gonna do what Tim Burton do. He gonna make it weird. He's gonna make it whimsical. He's gonna change some things around, and I liked it. I enjoyed it. I like when directors, even if they are given a property that has been made already, they put their own spin or their own taste or their own flair into it. And I think Tim Burton was the perfect director to do this remake, along with another film that's on my best list, but we'll get to that a little later. But yeah, I think he understood the assignment. The actors did great, and even though the Dumbo CGI character was a little uncanny, I think that was like the weakest point as far as visuals go, and as far as like CGI animated. I still think it was a dope you know, a dope movie, very entertaining, and the cartoon CGI elephant was still adorable with the big ears and stuff. Still adorable, even though it was kind of uncanny valley, kind of weird looking to me. um, for the most part. All right. Let's see. Yeah. What up, Pat? Thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. Tap into Patrick Saunders, Pat, a little bit of everything's channel, YouTube channel. Y'all tell y'all he go live every day, sometimes twice a day, and he has amazing guests that hop on his live sometimes, showing off some dope animals. So tap in to my bro Pat and support his channel. Thank you, thank you. All right, let's continue on with the best of the remakes that I love the most. This one, I don't care what the internet incels say. I don't care what the hateful red pill critics have to say. This movie was great. This movie was amazing. It was just as good as the animated in my eyes, and I've watched this movie multiple times and the animated movie multiple times back to back, and I loved every piece of it. So I don't care what anyone has to say. I stand by this 10 toes down. And that is 2023 is The Little Mermaid starring Halle Bailey and Melissa McCarthy. I think both of them did great. Halle did an amazing job as Ariel, and Melissa McCarthy did a tremendous, wonderful job as Ursula. Oh my gosh, her rendition of Ursula. Now, nobody can take away Pat Carroll, the legendary Pat Carroll, who voiced Ursula. That's a Disney legend, a voice acting legend, hands down. Rest in peace. She passed away a couple of years ago, but can't nobody but Melissa McCarthy did the damn thing being Ursula in this remake. This was amazing, and I felt like the hatred of this movie was so unwarranted because they did not want a black Ariel. It was so fake and it was just stupid. Like when you watch the movie, that movie is actually good. It's one of the one of the best ones of the Disney live action remakes, especially one of the best ones from the Disney Renaissance era. And can't nobody make me hate this movie. Like I don't care what nobody say. That thing was amazing. So the music was great. I still listen to the soundtrack. Even to this day, the music is amazing. And it was perfect for this generation. Even my nieces and nephews, they love this movie. Like this generation loved this. The younger generation loved this movie just as much as my generation loved the old one. So yeah, argue with your mama. One of the better Disney live action remakes. Let's see. Next on my list of best of. Now this one holds a sentimental place in my heart, which is why I'm wearing the shirt. um, because this was the very first movie I ever reviewed on this channel. The very first Snake Cinema reviews began with this remake. It started everything. I went and saw the movie, loved it, wanted to talk about it. So I went home, grabbed my camera, grabbed Jafar, wrapped him around my neck, and just reviewed it. And so back in 2019, this was the beginning of everything. We wouldn't have Snake Cinema podcast if it wasn't for this remake. So it holds a sentimental place in my heart, and that is Disney's live action Aladdin. And I do shout out to Guy Ritchie who directed this film. He did a great job. And again, just like Tim Burton, Guy Ritchie is another one of those directors that even though they took an intellectual property that already existed, they put their own flair and spin to it, their own style into it. So if you know any Guy Ritchie films, yo, he did an excellent job. What he made different, the action scenes, all that jazz. He did he made it his own. He took something that already existed and made it his own. He did not do a shot for shot remake. He changed a lot of things around. The cast did great, and I love Will Smith's version of the genie, and I love that Will Smith did not try to copy or emulate Robin Williams. He did his own thing. He gave it his own style and flair, and everybody understood the assignment. This is one of the better remakes out there of just like Little Mermaid of the Disney Renaissance era. And so, yeah, Aladdin holds a special place in my heart, the animated and the remake, and I love it to death. Again, argue with your mama if you disagree. uh, oh, dope. Pat got Roe as a guest tomorrow. Dope. That's going to be amazing. See, I'll tap in. Orlando said, I literally just rewatched The Little Mermaid and listened to the soundtrack. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Banner, thanks for tapping in. The Menace, thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you, niece. Miss you. Hope all the spiders and the kids and the snakes are doing well, Banner. Love you. All right, so let's move on. Okay, this next remake I felt like should have been a theatrical release. It's one of those based off the older movies before the Renaissance. And I felt like it got the short end of the stick as far as release because it was another one of those that went on straight to Disney Plus. But it should have got the. It was so good. I loved it. It was amazing. First of all, this was one of those ones that unfortunately got released. I don't know what was wrong with this was either pre-pandemic or during pandemic, but Disney released 5 live action remakes in 2019. 5. Two of them went straight to Disney Plus. I don't know what was wrong with the company. The company was smoking. The higher ups were smoking weed. Bob Iger, I don't know what was going on with him, but they released 5 remakes in 1 year, and this fell into that category. And I felt like at that point, people started to get fatigue of the remakes. Um, which was unfair and unfortunate because this was so good, and that is Lady and the Tramp. This was one of those ones that was released in 2019 and it went straight to Disney Plus. Let me tell you all the ones that were released in 2019. We had Lady and the Tramp, we had Aladdin, we had Dumbo, we had The Lion King, and what was the other one? What was the other one? Let's see, Lion King, Dumbo, Aladdin, Little Mermaid, and Lady and the Tramp. Yeah, so that's and so of course people are gonna get sick and tired. That's when everybody was like, okay, Disney, we tired of this shit. Like y'all doing too much. You giving us five remakes in 1 year. And so I felt like Lady and the Tramp did not get its just due. It did not get what it deserved, the love it deserved, the time it deserved. It was well worth. It should have been. Dumbo should have stayed on Disney Plus like it should have. But I felt like Lady and the Tramp, they should have took a risk and put it in theaters because it was so good, so entertainment. Um, I loved it. Shout out to Tessa Thompson and Justin Thoreau, who played the voice actors of Lady and Tramp, and they did use actual dogs in this film. Of course, they used CGI to make them talk, to make their mouths move, but they did like shoot on location and in studios with actual dogs. And I feel like even though Tessa Thompson and Justin Thoreau, even though they were just voice acting in a studio, the chemistry of the characters, they brought it to life. They made it seem real. Like these dogs are really talking, they're really there, and they're really like the story, like they're really falling in love and stuff like that. So I just feel like it got the short end of the stick as far as how it was released, what year it was released. I feel like it should have got more love because this is definitely one of the better remakes that Disney have done. And yeah, um, I love it. I give it. I sing its praises. I think I reviewed it. I can't remember what I ranked it. It was before the podcast. It was when I was just doing like small video clips. But I think I gave it either a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10, and I still stand by that. Before I deleted the Disney Plus app and been on this boycott, I've was still watch it from time to time, like almost once a year since it's been released, just because of this nostalgia and because I love it. I love it just like I love the animated one when I grew up. I wore that VHS tape out growing up of the animated one, so because I love dogs and it was just like one of my favorite dog movies. So shout out to Lady and the Tramp. If you have not seen it and you got the Disney Plus app, go watch it. I think it's well worth the remake, being remade, um, out of all these in the list. And I just feel like it was unfortunate to be released at the same time with all the other ones that year. Abanda said, I'm getting my morning Starbucks and gotta go home and clean the noodles. Maybe we can have a Discord party later. Yeah, of course. Of course. That'd be dope. I need to clean too. I might have to clean some of the snakes before our event today. All right. So we got one, two, three, four, five more in the best of list. And then we can go down to the worst, the ones I really don't like. And why? Because I'm ready to rant a little bit. Okay, so we've done Lady and the Tramp. All right, now we're back to the whimsical, crazy, psychedelic. Somebody got high and had a great time, and that is Mr. Tim Burton with Alice in Wonderland. That came out in 2010. Again, this is one of those first ones, first wave of Disney live action remakes for the newer generation that came out, and Tim Burton understood the assignment. He couldn't no other movie director remake this movie because Alice in Wonderland, the book itself is crazy as hell. The original animated movie is crazy as hell. Anybody who's ever tried to adapt Alice in Wonderland, the whole story, the characters, they've been in the public domain forever because the book is old as shit. So many different studios have made different versions of this story, and so for Disney to hire Tim Burton to do theirs, he understood the assignment. He got his original crew, of course, Johnny Depp and Helen Bottom Carter. He got his original posse that he always hired for all his films, and even Lord forgive me for forgetting her name, but the girl who played Alice, she did a great job being the main character in this weird, wild, whimsical world of Wonderland. All the actors understood the assignment, the aesthetics, the CGI, the animation, like CGI animate, computer animated characters, like the Cheshire Cat. All that, like everything, whatever you think a 2010 Alice in Wonderland movie would look like, they did that, and it was amazing. I still watch that movie to this day. Very entertaining, and I bet, I'm not a green tea aficionado, but I bet it would be a great movie to watch when you high off that green tea. Uh, but yeah, super excited, super entertaining. I love it, love it, love it. So it's one of them ones that I will say Argue with Your Mama is one of the best remakes out there from the Disney era. Who up here sneaking in the chats? Mitzi and Parker, good morning. Thanks for tapping in to the show. Appreciate you. Eric B, thanks for tapping in. Yes, smash that like, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications and share it out. Appreciate you, my brother. Thank you for tapping in. Let's see. Orlando said, I heard that was based off Epstein Island or something. Not sure if that's true. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, I hope not. I hope not. I don't think so. No, I think that's just like one of those online TikTok conspiracy theories. Because that story, I mean, the story itself in the book has been around before Jeffrey Epstein was alive. So, because like I said, Alice in Wonderland has been around. What? It's in the public domain. The public domain is any character that's been around for over 100 years. So, any movie, any studio could make a Alice in Wonderland. We could make a Alice in Wonderland story if we wanted to. It would just cost a lot. And that was way before Epstein's, before he even existed, before he was even born. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's one of those like TikTok conspiracy bullshits because people want to put boop 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 like this is connected to that and that is connected to that and that. All right, we're getting down to the wire now. These are the ones. Now the next group are all 10 out of 10s. I'm just letting y'all know that all 10 out of 10s, and they're in the correct order of um you know the last one is the best one. I'm not arguing with nobody's mama, I'm not arguing with nobody's dead ancestors. The last film in the best of list is the best one out of all the remakes. So we're getting down to the wire. I believe this is one, two, three, four. So we're doing top four now, and number four is my girl. No, now this is one of those pandemic movies, and the only reason why I know this is a pandemic movie because I remember watching it in my sister's house after she gave birth to my nephew. I couldn't go to the hospital when she gave birth to my nephew, so I went and saw her a week later, when she made it to the house safely with the baby, and we sat and watched this movie while I was watching and holding my nephew, and it was on Disney Plus, and that is my movie Cruella, starring Emma Stone. That movie, oh my gosh, talk about understood the assignment. Talk about everybody, every actor, everybody did a great job. Talk about a perfect, not just remake, but prequel. It's one of those prequels, like retelling stories of an original classic. Emma Stone did what she was supposed to do as young Corella Deville coming up in the fashion world, and I like how her origin story. But the costuming, oh my gosh, the costuming whoever was the creative director of the outfits, because she's a fashion mogul, fashion icon, whatever. In that universe, like they did a great job. That was my freaking movie, like, and it still is. And when they had before the movie was even released, when they had put out this particular promo picture, they didn't even drop a trailer yet, but they put out this photo. I knew we was in for a treat. I was like, oh shit. When they got her, the three Dalmatians, Horace and Jasper, man, I was like, yep, this gonna be a great remake. And again, it's one of those remakes based off of film that happened before the Disney Renaissance. So way back in the day, I think Walt had just died when this movie came out. I can't remember, or he was still alive and he had worked on it. But it's one of them old movies, 101 Dalmatians. So that remake was well worth their remake, reboot, prequel, whatever was well worth it. And I feel like that. I know it happened during 2020, the pandemic. Everybody was inside, but that should have been one of them ones they dropped in the movie theaters, just like Lady and the Tramp should have been one of them ones. But it is what it is, and we had to do what we had to do. But as far as a movie company with movie theaters and people not being outside during that time, everybody in the house and stuff, but it was great. It was a great film. I loved Cruella, and I still love it to this day. Another remake slash prequel based off of a Disney villain and based off of a Disney animated film from way back in the day is 2014's Maleficent, starring Angelina Jolie. There's there's really no explanation of why I love this film. It's Angelina Jolie. It's Maleficent. It's my favorite villain of all time. Um, and she understood the assignment. Her mannerisms, how she portrayed the character, um, everything, the costuming, everything's just perfect. And her origin story of how she became evil is pretty dope. And I've been very vocal ever since I worked for the company. Even beforehand, I've been very vocal. Before I was a Disney cast member, Sleeping Beauty is one of the most boring movies ever as far as the older animation goes. I get it. It broke a lot of barriers back in the day with animated films. It one of them ones that helped save the company, blah blah blah. It's a legend. But Sleeping Beauty, just like Snow White, is boring as shit. The original, like, and the characters, the princesses themselves, no personality whatsoever. The only thing that made that movie what it was Maleficent. The only scenes that people care about was Maleficent, when she turned into the dragon and all the other stuff. Like, and when you think about it, it really the villain wasn't in the movie that long. The original. So to have a remake and it be centered around the villain, mainly about the villain, it was Chef's Kiss. And so yeah, I really really love that remake. That's one of them ones that I'm not arguing with nobody over. And like I said, Angelina Jolie understood the assignment of playing that character and bringing that character to life and bringing that film to life. Because again, the original Sleeping Beauty, boring as shit. I wouldn't even watch it to this day. I wouldn't even play that movie for my niece and nephew. If I played the original animated film to my niece and nephew, they would fall asleep or go play in another room and go find Legos or something like that. They'll be like, "Can we watch something else?" Like, no. Bosa brother, thanks for tapping in. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, that was one of the ones that Disney did a good job and that it was well worth it. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe they based events on island to the book. Well, look at y'all with y'all conspiracy theories. Well, they probably did that. Google's Google said Alice in Wonderland was first published in 1865. Yep, it's one of them old books stories. But yeah, you could be right. Epstein could have got inspired by it. He could have been inspired by it. Look at y'all with y'all conspiracy theories in the comments. Y'all crazy. She's my favorite villain too. Heck yeah. I love me some Maleficent. I ride for Maleficent. Maleficent is that B. uh, and like I said, she made the most boring animated film watchable. She made it good because Sleeping Beauty is such a boring character, such a boring film. She made that the original good, worth watching, even though she was barely in it. She it's like I think if you total how many, I should Google how long the Maleficent character was in the Sleeping Beauty movie. How long did she show up? I bet it was probably like 10 minutes. So that whole animated, that 90 animated film, 90-minute film, she was probably in there 10 minutes total. And then the last 2 minutes, she was a dragon. Oh, all right. Number two. Now this is a tie because I love the one that came out in the 90s. The one that came out in the 90s was my shit. That was another VHS tape that I wore out. And my parents had to buy another one because I just kept watching it and rewind and kept watching and rewind. I just loved it. And the fact that they use actual real animals in there, trained animals in that film, like I love that movie. And that is the Jungle Book. The Jungle Book. But I also love that remake came out in the first remake came out in 1994. Again, I was a child when that movie came out, and I wore this VH. I actually had this VHS tape right here with the cover right there, and I wore that out to oblivion. But I also love 2016's remake, and I say as far as Disney live action remakes that use mostly CGI, like it was more CGI than human. It was like a little boy, the little boy that played Mowgli. He was like the only human in the movie, and he had to work alongside a whole bunch of animated characters. This is the best one. This is as far as the graphics, whoever was the special effects who drew or animated all the animals. They did a great job. Just everything, like both films, the 2016 and the 1994, were great renditions, and they were all different. I don't, to be honest, if I can remember correctly, the 1994 one, the animals didn't talk at all. Like it was mostly a silent film. For the most part, it was a silent film. Like in the human characters, like the character Mowgli, he didn't talk most of the film. He said little things here or there, but all the other side characters, like the hunter and things like that, the other side human characters, they talked, but for the most part, it was just the animals weren't talking. It wasn't no singing. It wasn't no King Louis saying I want to be like you. Like it wasn't none of that. It was like a straight serious like rendition of the film, but it was still good in entertainment because I just kept watching that movie over and over again. That showed how much I love animals. The fact that I just this movie barely had talking and I watched it over and over again, like I was still entertained. But the 2016, as far as the younger generation, live action remake, that was a great remake, and I sing its high praises. I definitely gave that film a 10 out of 10, and I highly recommend it. And it still holds up to this day, still good. Now, so yeah, the Jungle Book can't be topped. Can't be topped. Is one of them ones. Uh, Hold on, Evie Mux. Don't act up. We almost through. Don't act up, Evie Mux. Okay, there we go. All right. Last one. Last one. The best Disney live action remake. None of these can compare. None of these can top this one. You can argue with your mama. You can argue with your ancestors. You can argue with children that ain't even been born yet. But no Disney live action remake can top this one. I don't care if you say it's because of nostalgia. Fuck that shit. It was directed well. It was acted well. It the animals did amazing, and that is 1996 101 Dalmatians, starring the queen, the Cruella de Vil, Miss Glenn Close. Like, what's understood don't need to be said. It's another VHS tape that I destroyed, and my parents had to buy me multiple ones, multiple renditions. My bedroom had 101 Dalmatians all over the walls. My bedroom, I had the bed set. I had, y'all remember those 90s bed sets? I had all that jazz. Um, I had the video game when it came out on PS2. I had the birthday party, like everything. Like Corella has, y'all would have thought Corella was my favorite villain, even though Maleficent is really my favorite villain. But Corella, that bit, especially Glenn Close, rendition, version of it, like that movie still holds up to this day. Still entertaining, still fun. No remake has ever been able to capture, this has been the only remake that's been able to capture the same magic as the animated film, if not even better, because it was a lot, the comedy hit, the styles hit, her outfits hit, like everything. And then you Glenn Close played Corella so well that you wanted, you love seeing her get her ass beat by these animals at the end. But she played the role, she understood. um like I said, can't nobody top this. This is the best Disney live action remake. Disney has not been able to make a remake as good as this. And this happened, this came out in 1996. Can't nobody top it. When people, when unfortunately, we as humans, we not gonna live forever. So when the unfortunate time happened and Glenn Close go on to be with glory, you either gonna talk about, people gonna either post her in Fatal Attraction, or they gonna post this 101 Dalmatians, her as Corella Deville. This is her magnum opus, and she has played a lot of iconic characters. She has played in a lot of iconic films. She's known for a lot of stuff, but our generation, when she pass on and leave this world, we gonna be talking about her as Corella. We ain't gonna be talking about nothing else. And then the older generation gonna be talking about Fatal Attraction. But that's one of those ones. And yeah, she is a legend for this. This movie is legendary. And I remember when this movie first came out. In McDonald's, y'all know McDonald's and Disney have a whole contract with each other with kids' meal toys. When this movie came out, McDonald's had 101 Dalmatian toys that you had to try to collect. And when I tell you, that's the reason, I tell you, I believe that movie is the reason why I'm fat today. Because my mom took me to McDonald's and we collected all 101 Dalmatians. All 101. Yes, I did have some duplicates here or there, but we collected all 100. She went to I think she went to every McDonald's in Memphis. And if we went out of town, we stopped at every McDonald's there. Like, we collected every toy, and that, I'll never forget that. If I still had that collection, man, I could have sold that on eBay. That was it. But and then the sequel, oh, that was even worse. That was even worse. Don't even tell me. The sequel was just as good, and my mom spent a lot of money buying me all those toys as a kid. But yeah, so those are the best Disney live action remakes. At least in my opinion. Like I said, this is just my opinion. It's not fact, because I know there are some critics who love what I have in my worst of list and they swear by it. And I'm going to tell you why they're not. I don't agree with them on it. Let's see. Father Dunn said we need to remake. We need a remake of Peace Dragon. It is a remake of Peace Dragon, Father. Check Disney Plus. It is one of Peace Dragon. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not watch it, so I cannot tell you whether it's good or not. Or if I did watch it, I probably don't remember. But there is a remake that came out. I'll tell you exactly when it came out, but it's on Disney Plus. Well, let's see. Pete's Dragon. It came out in 2016. Yep, it did come out in 2016. So yeah, and it's the exact same director who did the Jungle Book remake. So, yep, I just didn't watch it, so I'm sorry. I can't tell you what I feel about it. But yeah. Oh, you don't have Disney Plus? Well, I'm pretty sure we can pirate that. I'm sure we can Jack Sparrow that. But yeah, or we can get somebody's password and give it to your father. Yeah. But yeah, they did remake it. They did remake it. Yep. Okay, let me go back to my list. Let's go back to my list. He said I'm gonna have to find a bootleg. uh, hey, I know I'm the king of pirate and stuff. Of Jack Sparrow and stuff. All right, now let's get to the worst of list. The worst of these are the remakes that should have never been made. It was pointless. It was stupid. It was whack. It was boring. It was forgettable. Or yeah, all of the above. So let me go. And it's not as long as the best of list. I think it's just one, two, three, four, five, six. Yes, just six of them. So let's go ahead and go with now. This one I'm not gonna put in any particular order, like what I love, what's the least worst versus the best worst, because they all just trash. So we just gonna go down the list of whichever pictures are up on this EV Mux. All right, let's go to okay, bam. One of the more forgettable ones. I remember watching it and then I forgot about it. That's how whack, boring, and pointless. And unfortunately, it was one of the older ones that Walt Disney actually worked on before he croaked and got put in the freezer. And that is Peter Pan remake, aka Peter and Wendy. And I think it was one of those ones that got sent to Disney Plus. I can't remember. It came out in 2023. I think it went to theaters first. I don't know. All I know is I watched it one time and never again. That's how boring and forgettable that remake was. It was pointless, it was stupid, and again, just like Alice in Wonderland, the story of Peter Pan is in public domain. So there have been so many studios, so many companies who have made better versions of this story, better renditions of this story, better remakes of this story. Hook, for example, the one with Robin Williams, like classic. Can't nobody top that. Like this was pointless. This was boring. This was forgettable. It should not have been remade at all. Like it was just whack. And no offense to the kid characters, because y'all know kid actors can either make or break a film. I think they did what they had to do. It was just boring. Whoever directed or did the screenplay, it was just boring. It was the only good thing I could say is Cap the guy who played Captain Hook was kind of fun, and the costume designs were great and pretty much accurate, but other than that, it was forgettable. So I would not recommend you wasting an hour or 2 hours on that film, even if you found it on bootleg. Like, no, whack. Don't even show it to your kids. Your kids probably fall asleep on that shit. Matter of fact, I once played it 1 year for my first graders because it was like the end of the school year and we were just having movie day. We didn't last the whole film. They ended up asking me, "Can we put on Sonic instead?" And I did. I was like, "Yeah," because I'm about to fall asleep. Like that's how whack and boring this was. Not even the children liked it. They were like, "Can we watch Sonic instead?" I got you. Yeah. What was that? I don't know what I was thinking about. Why playing that for them? uh, all right. Next up. Let's see which picture comes up first. Oh man, this is one of them ones. Just like Sleeping Beauty. This is one of them ones where I hated as a child. I hated the animated film. I thought it was boring, whack, and the main character was nothing to write home about. As a matter of fact, the only positive thing about the animated film was that the villain and the animal characters, the side characters, the animal characters like the mice and the cat and all that stuff, they made the movie. But every rendition of this character is boring. The only good the only good time that I actually cared about this particular character was in the TV show Once Upon a Time. If y'all seen Once Upon a Time, back when it aired on ABC, it was Disney's like adult version of the Grimm fairy tales, based off the Grimm fairy tales. This is the only time that was the only time I actually liked this character. Shout out to Jenny Goodwin, who Memphis Legend, who played that particular character well. Everybody else, it was no, no, no. Yeah, yeah. Uh, yep. Everybody else who tried to remake this movie, make this movie better, make it good. It's just whack. It's trash. The original's whack and trash. I just wish y'all just put this character the rest. And now there's Snow White. Snow White and the Seven Doors. 2025. I tried now, granted, this movie got a lot of hate online before it was even released because of the incel community and the anti woke community, because they was like, oh my gosh, it's too much diversity, all this BS. No, this movie is whack because the story itself is whack. The story is boring. The story itself is just it's trash. It's not good. The only time this character and these stories are good was in Disney's ABC's Once Upon a Time TV show. That was the only time I cared about any character in the Snow White story. Everybody else is just everything else. The animated film from back in the day, even though that was Walt Disney's Pride and Joy, he really loved that story. That was the first film he ever released. That was the very first Walt Disney animated film. I don't care. That was boring. It sucks. I never liked watching it as a kid. I always skip past it. I don't even think I had the VHS. And when people suggested it, I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Like it was just boring. It was whack. It collected dust in our house, and that is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And also, in the same vein, and for the exact same reasons, even though critics absolutely love this particular film, I disagree with them, and that is Cinderella. For all the same reasons of Snow White. The princess is boring. The prince is boring. The only good positive thing about this is the villain and the side characters, but even they could not keep me entertained. I tried watching this and I was bored out of my mind. I clicked off of it on Disney Plus with the quickness. Like I just give up. There's certain characters and stories I just give up on because they just do not resonate with me. They didn't resonate with me as a child, and they definitely wasn't gonna win me over with the remakes. And again, the only time I actually liked any characters related to this one or the other one was because of Once Upon a Time. I get it. There are legends with the Grimm fairy tales. There are legends in everybody's childhood memories, but the remakes and the originals are boring as hell. They bore me to death. They put me to sleep. So, yeah, and their remakes did not save them. They could not save them. Walt Disney himself could come from the grave, from his freezer, and he couldn't even convince me to like either one of those. So, sorry, Cinderella and Snow White. Y'all suck. Y'all are forgettable. Y'all are boring. And the only thing that redeems y'all a little bit is maybe the villains, but not even in the remake, the villains couldn't even redeem y'all. It wasn't even worth my time, and that's sad. That's sad to say. All right, now this next reboot um broke my soul. It hurt me for real, y'all. Cause I was excited when it was announced. I was excited when the cast was announced. I was excited when the director was announced. I was excited with all the way leading up to the day at the theaters. And I went to the theaters and I watched it and I walked out the theaters pissed. I walked out the theater so upset, so disappointed, so heartbroken because it was a waste of my motherfucking time. I could have just stayed home and watched the animated, and that is Disney's The Lion King. Talk about a waste of time. Talk about a waste of talent. The all star cast. I was so excited, and highly even they couldn't save it because it was literally a shot for shot remake. Nothing different. At least with Aladdin, Guy Ritchie made added some extra scenes. He added some extra action. He added some flair. He gave us a younger villain, a younger rendition of the villain. He got like at least with Maleficent, you get a different rendition of the villain. At least with Little Mermaid, yeah, it was a remake, but they changed some things around. Like they added totally different scenes that weren't in the animated film. I like when if you're gonna remake something, make something a little bit different where it distinguishes away from the original. This was literally a shot by shot remake. Everything, scenes, acting. The only thing that was different is that they did not sing Be Prepared, and that pissed me off. One of the best villain songs of all time, one of the best villain songs of any Disney animated movie. You took that song out where they did not sing at all. That was a slap in the face to any Disney fan that you took Be Prepared away. Like, what the? Like, are you serious? Like, that pissed me off to the highest. It was a waste of time. It was pointless. It was trash. And to be honest, I tell everybody if you want to watch a remake of The Lion King, just go to Disney Plus and watch Beyonce's Black is King, based off of the album she did for The Lion King called The Gift. Cause it's basically giving you it has no animal characters. It's all actors, Africans, and it's shot in Africa, but it's them giving their own rendition of the Lion King story. Like throughout the entire film, yes, it's a music video film, but throughout the entire film, the interludes, everything, you following this boy character who is representation of Simba and him going all the way to being an adult, meeting Nala, getting married, all this other stuff, having an enemy, which is Scar. But it's all human people, artists, African artists who are performing these songs for off the album The Gift from Beyonce. Um, and it tells a better story, a better rendition, a better remake of the Lion King than the actual Lion King remake. So if you want to watch a remake of the Lion King that's different, that stands out, that's entertainment, that's fun, watch Black is King on Disney Plus. Because what Disney tried to give y'all was a waste of time. This could have went straight to Disney Plus. This did not need to waste anybody's ad dollars and anybody's popcorn and drink money on movie tickets. Like, no, fuck that shit. It sucked. It sucked. Nasty, sweaty hella balls. Pause. No pause. All right. We're almost done. And to piggyback off that, and for the exact same reasons why I don't like The Lion King, I am very disappointed and don't like Mulan. And that says a lot because I love the animated. And the biggest sin of Mulan is that they took away the songs. There were no songs in there. There were no Mushu. He made the animated film. There was no Mushu. And even though I did like the action scenes, I love the fight scenes. I love the villains and side villains. I did love that, but it did not have the same charm, the same magic, the same spark. The young lady who played Mulan did great as far as her serious warrior side, her, the fighting roles, the choreography. She did great being the serious Mulan as a warrior. But if you watch the animated film, Mulan herself, she had personality. She had a fun part to her. Her banter back and forth with Mushu and stuff like that. Like this actress did not portray that. And it lacked soul, it lacked personality as a samurai movie, as a war movie, a warrior's journey movie. It's great, it's amazing, but if you're gonna remake an animated film of Mulan, give us something. If you're not gonna give us songs, give us personality, give us comedy, give us something to, entertain us. It just was not that. It was very disappointing. And to not have what we loved about the animated to, in it, but and it was just so serious, so like straightforward. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. Had this been a warrior movie but not called Mulan, Disney's Mulan, and not have, they even brought Christina Aguilera back out to remake um Reflections, the main song, which I love, and Christina Aguilera understood the assignment, coming back to do a newer rendition of Reflections. But if they did not do this and they just made a warrior movie that just happened to take place in China or based in China, it'll be cool. But because you gave us the expectations that we were getting a Mulan live action remake and you did not deliver properly on that, it was very, very disappointing. All the same reasons that Lion King was disappointing. Like so many great potentials, but executed poorly, in my opinion. And again, this is just my opinion. If you loved it, hats off to you. Happy for you. I'm glad you found some entertainment out of it, but I just was not feeling it. And it did not help the case. Like I kept trying to defend the live action remakes from the incel fanboys online. I kept trying to defend them, especially when the movies are actually good. But when you give me movies like The Lion King and Mulan and it to end up being a disappointment, you're not helping the case, and I cannot defend you against the crazy incels online. It's like, oh, Disney gone woke, woke is broke. Ooh, we do. I ain't got time to argue with nobody who's still living in their mom's basement about some animated cartoon characters that aren't real. But yeah. Let's see. Mitzi said, I had Cinderella come to my daughter's fourth birthday. I had a picture of my daughter and Cinderella together at Disney World on her. Aw, that's so sweet. Um, I will say this. I will say this. Although the characters suck in the movies and they're boring and they put me to sleep, the face characters that you meet and greet at Disney World and Disneyland are amazing. Like they're so personable. They got more personality than the characters in the film, which is crazy to say. So when you go and meet and greet them in the theme parks, like they're amazing. I don't. I'll never forget. There was one time my sister. I took my sister to Disney World for her birthday, and she wanted to meet Cinderella. She wanted to meet all the characters. We were at Epcot, so every country had a Disney character in the country. So we was going around the world trying to collect all the characters for each country. So we get to what, Germany? Yeah, Germany. And we're waiting in line, and I was talking mad shit. I was being an asshole. I was talking the character hasn't came out yet. We were standing by the fence waiting for her to come out, and we were like one of the first ones. We're waiting for her to come out, and I was talking mad shit. I was like, she's boring. I hate the movie. It sucked. The only time I like that character is in Once Upon a Time, blah, blah, blah. I was talking mad shit, and I know I was loud as fuck. So I'm pretty sure the face character, the person, could hear me on the other side of the fence. And I was like, yeah, when she comes out, I'm not going to even, I'll take a picture of you and her. I ain't going to take no picture. I'm going to take a picture of you and her, blah, 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 blah. And my sister's like, okay, cool. Yeah, yeah, blah, blah, blah. The character comes out and she immediately grabs my hand. I'm like, I said, nah, I pointed to my sister, like, nah, she wants to meet you. I was such an asshole. Hey, in my defense, I was in my 20s. And arrogant as fuck, but oh nice. But I was just being such a dick. And I was like, no, she wants to meet you. I'm just gonna take the picture. And Snow White was not paying attention. Snow White wasn't listening to me. She like, nah, bitch, we talking. So she grabbed my hand and walked me to where she's supposed to stay at. And she's talking to me as the character in her. And when I tell you, by the end of that interaction, not only did I take a picture with her, I was like, you know what, Snow White, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, that character interaction was so fun. I was like, I couldn't even stand 10 toes down on my hate. I was like, you know what? If I go to the theme parks, I don't mind meeting the character. I'm still never gonna watch the film. The film is still boring as fuck, but at least with the theme, like I couldn't even escape. I couldn't even escape this character. That face character said, "Oh, I'm gonna make this person like me by the end of like this character by the end of the day." And I think I ended up buying that picture, that photo that day. And my sister was just laughing. My sister was laughing at me. She was like, "Uh-huh, what happened to you not liking Snow White? What happened to her being a boring character?" I was like, "That character right there, that person ain't boring." Oh my gosh, that was funny. I had to eat my own words. All right, we're almost done. Okay, this is the last remake on my worst of list. The last one that, again, when I watched it one time and never again. It was hella boring. And I'm happy that it did not get a theatrical release. I'm happy they put it straight to Disney Plus. But it was pointless. It should not have been made. And again, it was one of the older ones, so you would think that they would do good with it because it's one of the ones that's so far removed. It wasn't part of the Disney Renaissance. It was one of the ones back in the day when Walt was still breathing and chain smoking around Disneyland. It was one of the older ones that you could remake and do your own thing, your own spin, your own flair to it. And it's also one of the ones that's in public domain. So all other movie studios have made a version of this and they've made a better version of this. So if you wanted to remake this or watch a newer version of this, you could have watched it at any other point at any other story but this one. And the fact that they dropped the ball, it was boring. It was unforgettable. It was forgettable. It was forgettable. Um, and I was excited when they announced that Tom Hanks was gonna be in it because Tom Hanks is amazing. But even he could not save this film. He wasn't in the film that long, but even he could not save this film. This film was a waste of CGI, a waste of being made. I think it was just Disney just trying to do another tax write off, and that is Pinocchio. I'm so happy this shit went straight to Disney Plus and not in theaters because I would have been pissed if my nieces said let's go see Pinocchio and I had to pay $20 a person to go see that shit. I would have been pissed. Um, it was a waste of time. It was a waste of an hour or so. It was pointless. Just go watch the cartoon. The cartoon is way more entertaining. Or there's so many other studios who have made better versions of this of remakes. Even the CGI of Pinocchio. It was just not good. It was just they were just honing this in again. This must have been just a tax write off for Disney because it was pointless to make this. It was a waste of time. It was trash. I'm never watching this again, and I would never recommend anybody else to watch it again. This is one of the worst. Besides The Lion King, this is the worst remake ever, and they should never do it again. And I'm not arguing with anybody about it. Matter of fact, it's one. It's so bad. I don't think anybody's going to argue with me that it was good. That's how I feel. I feel like it was so bad that nobody's gonna argue with me about that. So, yep, that is, in my opinion, the worst of the live action remakes, and it was a waste of everybody's time. It was a waste of Tom Hanks' time. Anybody who's involved in this film, I'm pretty sure they happy they got their check, but it just disappointment, boring, trash. And that's it, everybody. That is my list. My list of best and worst Disney live action remakes. Whether you agree or disagree, I want to hear it in the comments after this live. And for those who tapped in live and who've been watching and listening, thank y'all. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. All y'all in the comments right now. Let's see. Mitzi says, Cinderella blue balloons for the kids. It was the first and only time I ordered a character to come to her birthday. That's so sweet. Yeah, people who do stuff like that is sweet. But yeah, that's dope. That is dope. That is amazing. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that is it. That is it. Thank y'all for tapping in. Today, OTP Off the Plank podcast with Royal Caribbean Exotics channel and the OTP fam. And then after them, it is Wiz Sophisticated Ignorance podcast tonight. And then tomorrow, we have Father Dunn's Everyday Keepers, as well as Fred and AJ's Serpent Entertainment show. Oh, and Nikki and Lace Show Me Your Rack show. So tap in, support all of our people in the reptile community, all their podcasts, all their shows. Thank y'all for tapping into my show each and every Saturday at 9 a.m. Central. And thank you for tapping in to the Shenanigans podcast on Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. We appreciate y'all, the whole family lamb. This show and every show is brought to you by ENT Reptiles. Thank you, Orlando and TJ, for always supporting the channel and supporting yeah boy. Um, Again, I got a lot of stuff to do today. Me and the snakes are outside. We got some events today and tomorrow that we're going to. So if you are in the Memphis and surrounding areas and you happen to see me with a snake, come say hey, come get a picture taken. It's gonna be fun. We're back to booking photo shoots and educational shows. We do have a school visit, classroom visit coming soon in May. So I can't wait to record those. And also, I am recording behind the scenes of all of our gigs. And I will be sharing those on this channel as well. So, prom send offs, educational presentations, photo shoot, portrait shoots is going to be a blast. So, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all for tapping in each and every week. Yes, yes. If you missed the live, hit the replay, hashtag replay gang. And we will see y'all next Saturday. I can't remember what I'm reviewing next Saturday. But it's gonna be fun. I think it's the new horror film that I saw is coming out. And then there's also You, Me, and Tuscany, the romantic film by Will Packer. Um, the rom com that's out this weekend. I'm definitely going to go watch that this weekend. So I will be reviewing that probably next week or week after next. But yeah, super, super excited about everything. And again, countdown to eggs, countdown to eggs. That lace mandarin clutch will be hatching at the end of this month. We are at day 46, I think, right now. Day 44. It's either day 44 or day 45 or day 46. I can't remember. I got to check my Husbandry Pro because I keep track of all that of when the eggs were put in the incubator and that. It's coming soon. It's coming soon. The lace mandarin clutch head hypos are um unfortunately, I did not do that pairing, but but that clutch is pipping soon and we will be definitely be doing a video on that. If not a live, we'll see. I might not do a live ed cutting, but I will do a video. And then, of course, in June, we got the Kazi Clutch. In June, I just put them babies in the incubator on Wednesday. And so, yeah, we are going to see if this thinker is proven to be a real gene. And so, super, super excited about that. Um, and then I'm taking a break from breeding. At least, I did one pairing, another pairing with a different mandarin, but if she don't go, I'm cool with that. I'm not gonna attempt the pairing again because I need to focus on these hatchlings. I'm about to if every animal, knock on wood, if every animal hatches out healthy, good, no deaths, no stillborns, no kinks, no nothing, I will be having to take care of 10 new babies. And grow them up. And I need to focus on that. So I'm not trying to make 5, 6, 7, 8,000 clutches, like some breeders where I'm taking care of hundreds of babies in one season. Can't do that. Not when I'm by myself riding solo. I ain't got no partner. I ain't got no spouse. I ain't got no kids. So I ain't finna. No, I'm not finna put that on myself, stressing myself out trying to keep up with the Joneses. So if I have to take a season off, let my females get their weight back up and their strength back up and get these babies growing. Um, for them to be potential breeders, then so be it. I might have to do what's best for me. I'm not chasing the market. I'm not chasing, like I said, trying to keep up with the Joneses. Not chasing all these other breeders and like, oh, I did 3 clutches this year. Now I gotta do 10 or I gotta do 12. No, I need to focus on what I can do financially and also, most importantly, mentally. I don't want these animals to stress my ass out to where my mental health is at a decline and I end up resenting them. So, yeah, I'm still a hobbyist at heart. Even though I'm in the business of breeding ball pythons, I'm still a hobbyist at heart. And I got to do what's good for my mental health. Anyways, I gotta go. Love y'all. We will see y'all next week, starting Thursday with the shenanigans, and then next Saturday with a new episode of Snake Cinema Podcast. I love y'all. Y'all have a great weekend. Peace.
Every episode, spitting truth, old school jams and the latest youth. We keep it real, no sugarcoat.